Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Ireland Esports Collegiate Series. I am Kurt, and I'm joined here by, he's not even a caster this semester, Fleming, our production lead.
Yeah, I got this new job where I can see an opening and just force myself onto the broadcast now. It's pretty handy. It has its perks, but I'm glad to be back on the front lines, Kurt. Even if it's just for a night, what a glorious night it will be for us.
Yeah, just like the valiant lieutenant going into the trenches with his with his squadron. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
But
I'm going into the trench, not over the trench.
yeah, no, perfect. But yeah, going into this now, we have our second best of one of the day. We are seeing the UCC NetSoc Rebels versus the MTU Shroomers, and we will have to see exactly what they can both get done. I believe the UCC won their first game tonight, I think. But
Yes. No,
yeah.
UCC lost 13-0.
Oh, they were the first 13-0 of
Yes,
our
and
tournament.
then MTU lost 13-3.
Oh, my mistake. Both of these teams have lost.
Yeah, not great starts, but at least it means one of them will get a win tonight.
Yeah,
So
no, one of them's gonna have an uptick no matter what.
yeah, there's always a plus in these situations. And currently, it looks like MTU have brought out a bit of a reach here. There is a player still towards the empty pillar.
He's still on the side. He's just running. And he gets
Oh my
two.
God.
They go for the knife. He eventually gets removed by Balance PJ. But kills just go in a flurry. A man was on the site for like 10 seconds while they were trying to plant. And it's just insanity. But MTU recovered 2 versus 1 now. They know exactly where he is. They can just play around the angles. But it was a lot sketchier than I think anyone would have thought.
Yeah, and the double peak comes out, and they're obsessed with the knife. They do eventually get it. And an entertaining first round from MTU. But I think my brain kind of malfunctioned there when I saw your man alive for so long. I just couldn't speak any of the words that needed to be spoken.
Yeah, it was confusing because they knew he was there, and he just was running away from bullets, and it kept working. So that's how the first round went, and now the second round we instantly get some trade frag going on, 1 for 1, 2 for 2, and now we're in a 3 versus 3, 3 Deagles versus rifles. I'd put my money on MTU, but I know, from playing the game, from watching the game, that's not always true. That just because it's pistols versus rifles, it's gonna fall for the rifles.
Yeah, see, that would make sense, but doesn't always play out that way. And Magica, or
Magic, I don't know.
Magia, was looking to try to prove a point there, but unfortunately does get taken down by the Galil. AK picked up for division. Could, spell out a couple of issues here. He's taking his angles perfectly for the most part. Was able to break that down into 2 1v1s, but just caught unaware at the last second, and MTU will pick up a second.
Can I be honest? I read his name as D1v1.
You're...
I just saw... I think I've seen them before as well. I just wanted to be honest. I can read.
Look, Kurt, you've been on the internet for long enough. You know what? I don't even know. I'm done with you, man.
When you said division, a light bulb just turned on in my head, and I was like, "Oh my god!" It's like he's speaking the language of the gods. But MTU are absolutely cleaning up this round. Just forget about my illiteracy, and we are left with a 1 versus 4. Boggy is here, MP9 in hand. MTU set to get their third round themselves. 2 rifles, 2 deagles. Really should not be anything for Boggy, and it falls exactly that way as he gets instantly killed. 3-0 start for MTU Shroomers, and just absolutely keeping it clean in that round. Second round, bit dicey, bring it down to 1 versus 1, but they keep it nicely there.
Yeah, very good start. And they're already starting to build their economy up just a little bit here. Interesting to see if they can keep that going with a clean one here. They'll find the first. Interesting that Tia? Yeah,
Tio.
interesting that Tia. Yeah, I'm just saying Tia here, or else it will sound like I'm slowly, falling off to one side. Does stick with the deagle, which is kind of an interesting decision. Does get taken down for that. And just the 2 pistols remaining now for the side of UCC.
Yeah, it is going to lead to an MTU round most likely. I think you heard the slashes of the knife there. So Slabu going to just get this clean easily. A USP is never going to, get that kill, or even he's not going to expect him to be holding that. So clean start completely here. MTU going to rebuy what they lost. Still so much money in the bank. 10,000 on Ugra's knob.
Which one? Oh. Right. Go for Ugro, because if you say that again in your head, it's
Oh,
not
yeah,
as great as... Yeah, so Ugro, with a lot of money in the back pocket. Oh, that needs meaty, but they're not going to check it here. At least I don't think so. Boggy peeks out, tries to find one, will find nothing. See, it's currently tied up between the 2 teams here. And it looks like the T's are making their way out towards A. They've taken down Division. Taken down Siriu. Some of these names are interesting for no reason at this point. Just trying to overcomplicate it. An MTU with a 5-0 start, and it looks like UCC, maybe the battering from earlier at the hands of Ulster, still playing in their minds a little bit.
Yeah, no, it can definitely be a hard thing to bounce back from. Ulster obviously the highest seeded, so we know they are a strong team, but it doesn't change the fact that not winning a round in an entire game has to dig deep into your soul. Here though, it goes for it. He's doing a little bit of tricking with the deagle, but he cannot shoot the shot as he gets taken out. And Division as well is going to fall. 2 versus 3, or 2 versus 3, 2 versus 5. I don't know where my head's gone. Sirius is going to get 1 for his trouble, but gets taken out quickly by Slabu. Just magia. And he gets 1, gets the rifle in hand. That's a nice little pickup. He's able to, stay alive for a moment, try to position himself in order to get a kill, but they are just spread out, waiting for him. And with time ticking down, no kit in hand, it should not really fall for UCC here. As he's going to get the spray, get the headshot. Don't know if he's expecting the short player, and no, he gets shot in the back. Slabu gets the last kill. 6-0 start for MTU, and it's not looking good on the UCC side.
No, very much, very little, I should say, improvement from the previous game here. Currently on the side of UCC. As it looks like they have gotten the rifles out. The AWP in the hands of Magia will find 1 down mid. And it depends now. So UCC have a decision to make. Do they fight for control of mid, or do they take that man advantage and just try to set up in better positions? Unfortunately, they're not able to decide either, really. They try to go for the fight, lose the player top connector, and MTU have tied it up again.
Yeah, just trying to hold really close there on the con. He just can't react fast enough. It's so difficult when you have to hold the 2 elevations, but thankfully Respawn is around to, get them back a man advantage. But here, Tiao is he's going for the knife, but he gets caught out. He's sprinting behind someone else. You're going to hear those footsteps. He does. The Nova gets 1 kill, but he's going to fall. Ugro gets 2. Stairs and CT are dead. Just the 2 of them left. Boggy and Sirius. But Boggy's in a really strong spot here if he can stay alive. Sirius as well. Just needs to stick back and let Boggy do work, but he can't. Neither of them get their kills, and they're going to fall. They bring them down so low, but they just can't get the kills.
Yeah, unfortunately just not able to make anything work in that round, and so far that's been want to say, the best chance they've had at getting off the 0 mark. Thankfully, though, Magia has managed to get the op out into this round. He found a little bit of success with it previously, and will go for the aggressive fight here towards A, which looks like the side that MTU are going to have to all in on, especially after these first 2 kills go the way of the CT side.
Yeah, but now they really have to, you know, clean up their mid round. It feels like they are able to get the starting picks, and it's really strong, but it's staying alive and not giving away anything mid round that has been really bogging them down. Like, MTU have just been making good calls and picking a side, pushing it together, and able to take it here. They are a little bit light in terms of control right now, so at least UCC have that on their side, and they're just playing a bit passive here, you know, just watching for the mid push, not trying to take back control. Short and Con are being held. Respawn holding a nice little flash, but it doesn't lead to anything. It goes too deep, and they're already back to an even player count, except the op figures it out. They get them another one. The B player is still there, statue-like, just sitting behind the pillar, waiting for them. Division, though, he moves. He sees them in the corner of his eye, and he gets the kill. He turns 90 degrees and still finishes the spray. Slab you. He's only died once this game. And now, 3 versus 1 is what he needs in order to win the round.
Does manage to find the first onto Division. Was trying hard at the back of the side. 6 seconds left. Will attempt to plant in the smoke. Boggy is out. He is spraying. Does find 1 or 2 hits. But the ESPS, that's a lot of damage. Must have Boggy must have hit him another time or 2 there before Magia's bullet connected. But Kurt, UCC. They got around. They got around on the board. A 7-1 to MTU. But, you know, all comebacks have to start, and they all have humble beginnings.
They do have to start, definitely.
yeah. A comeback has to start before it can happen.
Yeah, no, 1-7 now. UCC, they've already outdone themselves against what they have against UU. So, you know, at least you can have something to call back to in this game. But once again, that's just the start of a road that is so long for them. Magia, the op, isn't going to get an opening pick this round, at least not currently. And mid control is going to have to just be basically given away. But he might try to get something here. 2 picks already lost on either side of the map. The op does pick up 1, but the short player, he might go up quickly as the T here. Supra pushing out. Boggy going to sit back. That flash is actually going to catch 1, and he gets a kill, but he gets traded out instantly, and it's still a man advantage for MTU. Does get caught shooting. Slab, you can't kill out Sirius, and it's now a 2 versus 2, which, given that they're able to have mid, they can rotate quickly right now. And the bomb is going to take a moment to get to A.
Yeah, but luckily it has a seat of passage. As both these players in the mid position, so the bomb can get to default and be planted. The problem is, though, they don't really have the ability to rotate to better positions. The flashbang will buy a bit of space as Tia moves closer. The op looking to be taking point here to a certain degree. Just clears out towards Palace. Trying to spot towards Firebox. The shot doesn't connect, but now the second CT, Sirius, knows exactly where he is. Finds the headshot, swings out, takes down the sandwich player. And that's UCC with a second. It's slow going at the start here, but if they can find 2 more rounds... No, they have 3 more, isn't it? Yeah. So they have the potential to pick up 3 more rounds here, which would get them within 2. So there is, you know, there is the potential for UCC to not come out of this great, but come out of it much better than it was originally looking.
Yeah, like a little bit patched up. They are just going to switch up the pace here. It looks like MTU taking apps very quickly. 2 of them quickly in there, throwing nades. And it's just the solo player of Sirius actually playing deep. But the short player can come back to hit him. Division takes a lot of damage, is very much trapped in this connector position. No one's watching his pushback, so it should be all right. But another pick for Respawn. And now it's just the Underpass and 2 apps players left for MTU. UCC showing a much stronger position now that they're halfway through this half. And Sirius going very confident with that jump. You know, you don't have the info on if they're deep, if they're far, if they're close, but you still go for the fight. You still try to get it, and you're able to be backed up by Magia, who gets that kill. And now it's just these 2 players low, and they're both getting spammed down. Respawn does fall, but the rest clean it up. 4 men survive. UCC pick up a 3rd.
Yeah, a very good round there, a very clean round, which is exactly what they needed for the remaining 2 rounds of the half. Just to build up that bank to the point where if they do drop this next round, they still have a good buy going into the final here. Good to see Magia with 11 kills, 7 deaths, currently 3rd in the server overall, and really just being the driving force behind any success that UCC are able to find. And this is nice to see. A very standard A take coming out here from MTU. Max 7 is up close, so he will be ahead of the smoke. So they will have to try to trade him out. But both of his teammates so far back that it's not going to matter. The Glock actually comes out to find the first. Respawn will find 1 though. Flash over the top. He's going to jump down into sandwich. Not able to work out exactly where he is here. Just waiting to pounce on this opportunity is MTU. We've just walked past, not going to show here. The bomb's been dropped in the side, does find the first, finds the second, tries to spray for the 3rd, but will be found out not before Sirius can get another of his own. And now it is just the lone T player on that clock. Does have 1 into the round, I think, or was that someone else? I think, yeah, I think that was just T.O. But regardless now, not a whole lot to be done. I don't see them repeating that Glock heroics and the bombs out in the middle of nowhere. So it looks pretty dire here, Kurt.
Yeah, no, I think he knows that as well. You see him swinging around his mouse. He's just like, what am I gonna do? I want to peek out a little bit. Sees a player, gets tagged down already hugely. Yeah, it really is just a case of when he's gonna fall rather than if. They are whiffing a few of their shots, but he's not able to get a kill. A dink with the Glock, just half the HP gone. Nothing else can really go. And now we're into the last round of the half, and you know, they're not economically very sound still. Balance, he's the only one without a rifle, and he can't really afford one other than a Galil or a Scout with no nades. So really trying to pinch these pennies and keep them together, but right now, at the very least, UCC have the better weaponry to try to get themselves their 5th, and Respawn going for a really big just swing out, able to halve the HP of Balance. The Scout doesn't connect, so they just get the info and pull back.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out as well to Tiddler. Despite him not being in front of the camera, he is still getting little bits of commentary in there. I don't know if you saw the will they win the clutch 1v4, with the follow-up being no was the answer. So just a shout out to the producer behind the scenes making it all tick. Meanwhile, Respawn making it all tick for UCC here to find 2. To keep it tied up at 3 apiece. Division will follow, given the T's the man advantage, but I mean, coming from 0 up to 4, even if Sirius isn't able to pull off this 1v3, it's a bit of a comeback here for UCC.
Yeah, like, even if it might get cut off, but Sirius does get 1, trying to go for another. Does deal a nice bit of damage to Ugro, so it is a case that there is a chance, but even if they do lose this round, even if it is the 4-8 half, yeah, in favor of the T's, it's still a really strong end to the map, to the half, and gives them a bit of momentum. Even if it gets cut short a little bit, you still have to pat yourself in the back for a recovery like this so far. And there's still a little bit of time left in this half. There's a kit, there's a smoke. He makes a little step, but I'm unsure if it's heard. I don't think it is from the way Supra is checking all of his angles. So coming through this CT position, it's the only one not checked, but it's the only one where he can't really get a clean fight where he knows where someone is.
Oh, Smoke's dropped on the bomb. Does get on it. Spray isn't going to connect. The Molotov's not going to do anything, my friend. And serious.
Ooh.
Oh, was so close to finding that round. As you said, MTU do win the half 8-4, but 4 rounds on the trot at the end there from UCC. The momentum is in their hands to a certain extent. If they can find this round, suddenly they're gonna start feeling like they're back in the game despite the deficit.
Yeah, and definitely I think as well for UCC, because they are the T's, they can decide the pace now. They can bring that momentum forward and just decide, hey, we can choose exactly how to fight this, and they are just pushing their way out. Magia does get one really quickly, just him holding so wide on the apartment's position, but Super hits the headshots. 3 versus 3 now. Still, they keep it alive. They're going to get the plant. The smoke is still blocking a lot of sideline. Slabu gonna whiff these shots and get taken out by Sirius. Not able to hit the head and not able to convert the kills. Just Tio now. Magia is gonna get a little bit sloppy on the shots, but everything else should fall into place for the rest of UCC if they don't overextend these fights. They keep giving him little chances to hit the headshots, but they hit it themselves. It gets a little bit scary when you see stuff like that, because there is just a sliver of a chance that he just hits 2 bullets perfectly and takes the round, but they get it nonetheless.
Yeah, giving him the opportunity to win that round, but unfortunately just not able to capitalize on his opponent's mistakes. And the T's actually sending players very early towards this A site. They do have 2 SMGs, a Galil, an AK, and a Scout. And they send the Galil out as the fact finder, shall we say. And unfortunately, Magia is just going to pay for that with his life. Will get dropped by the Deagle. The trade out, though, is forthcoming. And actually, a lot of damage has been found onto the T's here. But that won't matter if Respawn can find the frags. We'll find one. MTU, they continue to do a lot of damage into this round. Respawn actually gets stinked up. 2 players on 30 HP here for the T's. Make that 19 on Respawn. And even if they aren't able to get the defuse here, which as it ticks away is becoming more and more unlikely, if they can get one more kill here, they can continue to limit the economy as this half develops. Another player dropped, a TK coming in here for the CTs. The balanced PJ. 1v2, just looks to find one more kill, isn't able to get it. And it looks like they're going to lose the AK actually, so only a Galil and a Mac-10 being brought into this round. It's as good as could be expected from MTU given the circumstances.
Yeah, no, definitely a strong way to finish off. And I gotta say, a 1-dig is a 1-dig. If it's on your teammate, it's still a 1-dig, I think. It still gets that moniker.
I think that that probably speaks more towards your ability than anyone else's.
Yeah, no, I definitely. But they're switching it up again. Instead, now it is the fast B. They're just swapping sides, changing up what they did. It worked last round, but this time they are against full rifles. Mac-10 though, spray, gets one. The second one does get taken out by the rifle. And now 2 versus 2. Quick kills. Only 30 seconds into the round, and now Respawn not able to finish that fight. Magia only has a scout, and neither of these players are tagged, so it has to be a headshot. It has to be a kill shot.
This is the first. Will not get a second by the cherry. And it looked like that momentum was going to continue here for UCC. Looking for a 7th, but MTU finally able to put a stop to it. Thankfully, though, for the T side, you are still going to find rifles across the board here, so the wave for UCC not over quite yet, and MTU are still going to have to put up a good defense here.
Yeah, they are actually opting to go for a little bit more of a half buy and not spend too much here, just so they can have the better buy, which is definitely a bit of a risk given the round deficit, but if they can make it work, it could actually pay off really well. Also depends how exactly this round goes, but currently it's just Deagles not doing much. But he hits the head. That's really strong. They do know it isn't B though. The siren's going off. They know that the last 2 are A. Flank is coming in if the round does get extended, but it even won't. You can see him sprinting through T-spawn ready, but they're able to do that. Tiao actually drops his rifle, it seems like.
No, Tio had a USP the whole time.
Oh, did he? We've once again experienced the, you know, opting for the lesser weapon. But anyway,
the lesser weapon. Yeah, that's one way of putting it.
yeah, there's harsher ways to put it. But the T's now, they're onto the full rifles, and that MP9 beats out the AK. But Boggy not going to win out that spray. Respawn, though, has been just so good at getting these picks for his team. And he gets another. Still one man down to the T side, but at the very least, I was going to, you know, they're not one man down anymore. The kills just keep coming. It's such a fast-paced game.
Yeah, extremely scrappy here. We've seen even trade come out yet again. Both sides with rifles. Ugro, the only player currently below 50 points of health. Just about got that sentence out. Magia will plant the bomb. The initial tap not heard though, so there still is a bit of a rotation to be had here. Flashbang perfect on the balanced PJ. Does fall, and Ugro? We'll go Ugro. Blinded up. Respawn finds the frag. UCC with a 7th here. Although the CT side is the favoured, it's not by much, right? So whenever you're playing at this level, whenever you're playing in, you know, domestic scenes, it really just comes down to whatever the meta is in that region.
Yeah, definitely. And seeing this as well with the shorter halves in CS2, it does mean that if the T's can get a little bit of a hold on the CT economy, they can absolutely dominate. But it doesn't matter if their economy's in shambles if they can hit Deagle headshots like that. Oh, Sirius as well cannot spray there, and he gives away a rifle. 2-man advantage, and they're able to recover a really strong weapon to bring them forward. Oh my!
Doesn't matter.
Don't even need the rifles, I don't think. But that's 2 kit 1 Deags and then a 3rd for Supra, just completely plowing them through this round. It should have been the rifles, but the pistols ring true, as we see just now. They're going to sit back and play down the timer a little bit. It's 1 minute on the clock, so I guess just hope for a bit of overzealousness, hope they push a bit too much.
Yeah, the bomb's still so far back from spawn right now. It's going to start to make its way over towards A. So that player in the ramp, going to look for a bit of space. Being offered up a chance at redemption here from the player on stairs. Respawn will find the frag on the Supra. Molotov out towards spawn, but you can see the noose immediately tightened here. 1 player running through spawn, 2 players set up for a retake positions, 1 player making his way up into connector. That's a bomb dropped and Respawn now. 18 seconds on the clock. Will find 1 towards spawn, not able to find any towards connector. That's MTU 2 rounds away now from taking their 2nd round game of the night.
Yeah, just completely falling for UCC. They tried to maybe look for a pick, especially in such a 2v4. You know, you want to try to get an advantage before you plant, but the bomb falls in such an off position. Slabu loses a bit of damage, gets legged by that op. Doesn't get the kill though, so, you know, Bogdan's Law, he just keeps it for himself still. Does not change much. If you miss the shot anyways, you're most likely dead, so shouldn't be hopefully too much of a loss, but a nade would completely throw him out of the rounds.
Yeah, just living life on the edge now, Kurt, for the rest of this round. Meanwhile, though, UCC have worked their way up short to a certain degree. 2 players far back in Alps would indicate that they're going to go for a bit of a split here, but they've still got so much work to do to make this a reality. 3 CT players towards BTO. Will make his way back in towards mid, finds a kill on the Respawn. Looking to try to duel out the remaining player here. Meanwhile, though, Sirius will drop in apps. Man advantage for the CTs. They're going to continue to get aggressive. Potentially the wrong decision here, as Boggy will find the 1 Deag. Now 3 players each, 40 seconds remaining on the clock. The bomb is still towards B, but it looks like they haven't fully decided on it.
Yeah, the rotates do come through, but then they pull back. I think the moment they cut noise, they're going to pull back. But that noise is actually a bait, as we see. Tiao, though, is in such a good position, takes out the first one. The second one cannot hit anything with that op in midair. And now just him alone. 10 HP, but he gets the first. 10 seconds on the clock, has to rush down this plant, but has to get some kills as well. Gets taken out, and MTU on to match point of the night.
Yeah, and UCC economy kind of in the bin right now for a good couple of their players. They are still going to be able to eke out a bye, but still going to be very difficult for them to make anything happen in this round.
Yeah, and just instantly taken out. Magia gets another, gets two. TO going to spam with the USP, doesn't get the kill himself, but everyone just falling for UCC. Just respawn now. He's done a lot in these rounds, but I think clutching a 1v5 ace with a deagle might be, you know, it's a high cost, and Tiao just going to play with it, jiggle it around, flashes right clicked, and Tiao gets the final kill of the round. MTU, they do, you know, struggle a little bit in the middle of this game, but by the end they're able to just pull it through. You know, they had such a strength, and then the T side of UCC just falls short.
Yeah, unfortunately, really starting to struggle there towards the end, where UCC, after what was amounting to a good bit of a comeback there, it just looked like, unfortunately, not enough of the players stepped up to try to get on board with that. And MTU, sorry, a very good showing on Mirage. Just to quickly run through the remaining scores, Satu are currently 13-5, or win out their game 13-5 against UL Esports. TUD Apes B obviously got a bye in this round, and I believe TUD Apes A have gotten the forfeit win over UCD. DCU Double Scoped are currently 6-2 up against TUS. That game was a bit of a late starter, as I think one of the TUS Dragons players were late getting home, and it looked like DCU were trying to get a forfeit win there, but that game is underway currently, thankfully. Ulster Unicorns actually struggling a little bit. They're currently 9-7 up against Trinity Quacks, and of course 13-7 to MTU Shroomers. So a lot of close games still happening currently. I think there's a couple of them being streamed individually, but for this broadcast, yeah, a good showing from MTU. Unfortunately, UCC not able to correct their previous round's result of 13-0.
Yeah, they do have definitely a stronger display, I imagine. We didn't view it, but you can't imagine it must have been a fun time playing at 13-0. Except if you're the side on the 13, of course, but... they are able to get a little bit of pride back, maybe. You know, it was a nice recovery at the end of the first half, you know, able to string together 4, able to get a few rounds at the start of the T side, but it just felt like they didn't come into the game at the start. They came in maybe halfway through the first half, and that's a bit late. Especially with these shorter games, you can really not give up as much around as well, due to silly mistakes and due to just not making the right decisions.
Yeah, they had a good bit of momentum towards the end of the first half, but unfortunately not able to continue that into the second, and MTU will win out that round, which we're going to have to do this manually, but that puts their record at, let's see how to go in the first week. That currently puts their record at 3-1, I think, for MTU Shroomers. Yeah, so 3-1, a pretty good standings after the first 2 weeks. I think that puts them on par maybe with Satu. Let me just double check. Yeah, I think that puts them on par with Satu, which is a very nice place to be after the 2 weeks. Remember, there is only 5 weeks of group stages, then we go into the elimination brackets with a LAN final as well at the end of it. But remember, there is still plenty more college esports throughout the week. You still have League of Legends tomorrow and F1, I believe, on Friday. And then on to the next week, you have Valorant on the Monday, Rocket League on the Tuesday. And then I think you're potentially seeing Kurt again on the Wednesday.
I just keep appearing. It's actually unhealthy.
Although I do want to say, for all the Kurt enthusiasts, he had the chance to do Rocket League yesterday and complete the trifecta, but
No, it's
wasn't about when he was needed most.
I was told an hour beforehand I was needed, and at that point, I wasn't around. I sit by the phone until 5 o'clock. We use Discord anyways, but like I sit by my landline waiting for the call to come up.
Man,
And then
I
at the
was at
moment I clocked out, they were.
I was at Arctic Monkeys clutching my phone, hoping Celtic was able to get you, but
I
unfortunately,
should have just said I was at Celtic Monkeys, at Arctic Monkeys.
yeah. Here, I'm sure Celtic would love it if people started walking around calling themselves Celtic Monkeys. But alas, I don't even know what that means. We will catch you tomorrow, hopefully, for League of Legends. But if you're only interested in this game, it'll be next Wednesday with Kurt.
Yeah, not this guy. No, wrong way.
Yeah,
Mirrored.
I'm gone after this. I'm out again.
Yeah, no, he's retired.
I'm done with this. But yeah,
Yeah, we will see you guys next week.
We'll catch you next week. Jinx.